Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and on this episode we're going to review Wrestle Kingdom 13. Coming from New Japan Pro Wrestling, let's jump right in with the pre-show match, which is a gauntlet match for the #1 contender for the NEVER Openweight 6-man championship. And we're going to start off, the first two teams were representing the Elite, Adam Page, Yujiro Takahashi, and Marty Scurll versus Yuji Nagata, Jeff Cobb, and David Finlay. I'm going to kind of rip through this one pretty quick because there's a lot of moving parts here. Nagata's team eliminates the Elite. After the match, we see Chase Owens and Yujiro walk away from Page and Marty, basically telling us what we already know, that Page and Marty are leaving. Next team to come out, representing Chaos, Trent Beretta, Chucky T, and Hiroki Goto. They get beat by the Nagata's team, which David Finlay picks up the win on both of these, which was kind of cool to see that they're doing a little bit of something with him. That brings out from Suzuki-gun, Minoru Suzuki, Lance Archer, and Davey Boy Smith Jr., aka the Killer Elite Squad. They get the win over the Nagata, Cobb, and Finlay team. Eliminate them finally, even after a strong showing, so I believe that was pretty cool for them to go forward. The guy that's going to get the rub out of that is going to be David Finlay because he did have the 2 wins. And last but not least, we have the final entrant team, Togi Makabe, Toru Yano, and Ryosuke Taguchi. And I'm sorry if I'm tripping over these. It's been a very long night. I'm doing this pretty much right after the show. Makabe, Yano, and Taguchi pick up the win. I thought this was a solid opener. I'm going to give this a 3. I thought this was fun. I didn't like it in place of the New Japan Rumble. I would have liked to see both. But, you know, yet again, it's another way to get 15 people onto the card that wouldn't have normally been onto the card, so I can't hate it. Now, after a little bit of a break and seeing some interesting developments, most interesting being the G1's going to start in Dallas this year, and also next year's Wrestle Kingdom and New Year's Dash are both going to be in the Tokyo Dome, which is interesting. We get our first match of the main card. For the NEVER Openweight Championship, Will Ospreay versus Kota Bushi. And I'm sorry, folks, I'm very tired at this point. This match I thought was really good. It went a different way than what a lot of people would expect. I think a lot of people were expecting a high-flying, back and forth, crazy aerial move match, and they kind of went the way of more of a strong style, striking, more violent style match, and I think it worked well. They did add some of the high flying in there. There were high flying moves. There was some innovation there. I thought these guys matched up really well against each other. This match was very interesting to be the first match on the card. It really is a match that could have went anywhere on this card and literally been just as successful. Ospreay picks up the win, becoming the new NEVER Openweight Championship. Afterward, we see Ibushi get stretchered out of the ring. It's heavily implied that his head got hurt during the match. So I don't know if maybe it was just a concussion with some precautions, or it's part of a storyline, or what it may be, or it's just an angle. But hopefully he's okay. Hopefully, and probably by the time that you watch this video, we'll get a full report on it. Unfortunately, I don't have that now. But hopefully Ibushi's okay. I give this match... Oh yeah, and I'm sorry, folks. I didn't mention this in the beginning. I rate everything on a 1 to 5 scale. 1 is the worst, 5 is the best. So that first one being a 3 is right at the middle. I digress. I gave this match a 5 out of 5. I thought it was a really good match. Probably my favorite match of the night. If not my favorite match, one of my 2 favorite matches of the night. Next up we have for the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship, we have Kanemaru and El Desperado representing Suzuki-gun versus Roppongi 3K versus Bushi and Shingo representing LIJ. And I really like this match. I kind of felt like they used it as a spotlight to really show us what Shingo could do for those of us who aren't familiar with him. Or for those in the crowd that aren't. I know of him. I know I really enjoy him, and I really want to see him do a lot more in New Japan. This was kind of like a spotlight for him to show what kind of a wrestler he is, in case you didn't know, or to show that they're going to be willing to push him, even coming from Dragon Gate, that he's not, that they're not willing to make a foreigner or a talent that was made outside of their company look like a star. I thought this was a really good match. Bushi and Shingo win. I'm going to give this match a 3 out of 5. I think it got hurt a little bit by the match before it and the match after it being better, but I still think it was a good match. I think maybe they should have opened with this. I don't know, but I did enjoy it. Now coming up next for the Rev Pro British Heavyweight Championship, we have Tomohiro Ishii versus Zack Sabre Jr. Again, this was another match I really loved on this card. I thought this was great. I think the pairing of these two, anytime these two go at it against each other, I really enjoy it. They're two wrestlers I rather enjoy watching no matter who they're wrestling. And I think Ishii is a little bit of a kind of guy that's a little bit neglected in New Japan. For how good he is, I don't think they quite give him the spotlight that he deserves. Zack Sabre Jr., I think they're trying to build something where he's going to be a guy that's in place if they do lose Kenny Omega, along with losing Cody Rhodes, Hangman Page, the Young Bucks. If they lose those guys, I think Zack Sabre Jr. is right there to step into one of them roles and become one of the top non-Japanese talents in the company and step right into a main role in the company. Zack Sabre Jr. picks up the win, and I thought it was really good. I think them having Ishii quit or submit to Zack Sabre Jr. puts a lot of credibility on Zack Sabre Jr. Sorry, folks, I am very tired. This match was amazing. Probably one of my favorite matches on the show. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this. Next up we have for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship, the Guerrillas of Destiny versus the Young Bucks versus Evil and Sonata. And I really wanted to like this match a lot more than I did. Don't get me wrong, you're going to see when I rate this that it's actually rated rather high. But I kind of had the feeling that the Young Bucks were going to go out with a bang, being that this is potentially their last Wrestle Kingdom show. And maybe they know something we don't. Maybe there's going to be more Tokyo Dome shows for them. Maybe All Elite Wrestling is a working deal already with New Japan that they could go there and do these shows. But I kind of felt like they were going to show off. Not that they didn't give a great match. I just kind of, I don't know, maybe my expectations were a little too high. The Guerrillas of Destiny kind of weirdly played the faces in this, where Tama Tonga, he's been weird on his Twitter talking about wanting to be good guy Tama Tonga, and he even at one point stopped Tonga Loa from interfering in a submission. So, a little bit of strange pairing for them, a little bit out of character. I thought this was a good match. The highlight, much like the other tag team match where Shingo was highlighted, Sonata was really highlighted in this match. I feel this is his coming out party. Not that he hasn't already had big time moments in New Japan. I think this is just another one to add that when we finally do see a Sonata singles run, this is going to be one of the things we look back that was a building block for that. The LIJ team picks up a win again, so the LIJ now has both of the tag team championships. I'm going to give this match a 4. Like I said, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good, actually. I just expected the Bucks to do a little more than they did, and maybe that's just my expectations on it. Kind of weird. Like I said, I didn't want it to sound as bad as I was making it out to be, but I expected that to maybe be the sleeper match of the night. Coming off of that, for the IWGP US Championship, we have Cody Rhodes defending against Juice Robinson. I thought this match, let's be honest here, folks, this match was subpar. I expected better from both these guys. Maybe it was the fact that they went under 10 minutes. Maybe it's the fact that it was pretty lopsided with Juice winning. I don't know if that was punishment for Cody losing. I don't know if Cody mailed it in or Cody on the way out tried to make Juice look better by having him win so decisively. But to me, it kind of left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth because with it being a championship match and such a high caliber match in a championship they're trying to build the credibility of, I expected more of this. This was probably my least favorite match on the card, and I love both of these wrestlers. I'm a huge Cody Rhodes fan, and Juice Robinson's a fan. I'm a fan of his too. I think he's got an immense talent, and he's going to be a huge star going forward. Unfortunately, maybe it's the fact that they didn't get enough time in this match that suffered it a little bit, but to me, this match just fell a little bit flat. I'm going to give it a 3. Juice picks up the win. Kind of what I expected. I expected Cody Rhodes to lose going out, but again, I wish it would have been a little more competitive. Maybe another 5-7 minutes more added to it. Now, next up, we have Kushida, who has a strange but cool entrance with a little kid Kushida with a grown-up mask and Taguchi as Doc Brown again. And he's going up against Bone Soldier, Taiji Ishimori for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Again, I like this match a lot. I really did. This is another match I kind of thought might steal the show. I think this was a highlight for Ishimori. I kind of believe that some of the rumors about Kushida potentially leaving might be true after watching this and how the commentators were talking about it. Because they really played up the part of he's been a great champion. He's kind of given him the walking off into the sunset kind of vibe. And the weird thing is he's only 31, so it's not like he's old. We know he's not going to retire anytime soon. Or maybe he is. Maybe he's going to retire young. But there have been a lot of rumors that he's potentially on some other companies' radars. Most notably, WWE is potentially interested in him. So I'd be interested to see if he's going to be that next free agent signing in the crowd. Or maybe he goes to AEW. Maybe he goes to Ring of Honor, where he's already carved out a sizable following there. I thought it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. Ishimori picked up the win, which I think he should have anyway. I think his story going forward deserves that kind of thing, especially with the Guerrillas of Destiny representing the Bullet Club losing their tag titles earlier. We keep a championship in tow with the Firing Squad, the Bullet Club OGs. I'm going to give this match a 4. I thought it was really good. I rather enjoyed it. Next up, we have Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White. And I don't think Jay was ready for this because Kazuchika Okada came out in full Rainmaker gear. Gone were the balloons, gone was the t-shirt, back to the elaborate robe, back to the shorts. which, if you're following along on Twitter, on social media, the shorts were a big hit. It got a huge pop when he pulled off his breakaway pants and they were what he was wearing under it. For that reason, I thought Kazuchika Okada was going to take this match, and it kind of made sense for me to have him do so. But they really played a really great story going back and forth with these two, with Jay White actually picking up the win. I was surprised at the fact that he won. This is probably the most surprising result of the show to me. I did not expect that at all. I did not expect Jay White to be on the level to beat Okada at Wrestle Kingdom at this point in his career. They've automatically made a new top-level star, a new top-level talent by doing that, so I understand why they did it. It just shocked me a little bit, especially when we seen, like, Okada didn't lose to Naito in the Tokyo Dome, or he didn't lose to Omega in the Tokyo Dome. So him losing to Jay White speaks volumes. I'm going to give this match a 4. I thought it was really good. Again, another really solid match on the card. Next up, we have for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, Chris Jericho versus Naito. I like this match. I like the no DQ version of it. I like that Chris Jericho, the older he gets, the more seasoned he gets, the more he's turning into Terry Funk. He's just a crazy old man kind of thing now. And a funny tweet I seen, I don't know who said it, there were so many tweets going on during the night, which I was kind of watching the show to try and help keep me awake. I was doing both at the same time, kind of keep my mind active. But anyway, I digress. Someone had tweeted out there that it reminded them of Ric Flair's 06 hardcore run in TNA, where if you live long enough, you're eventually going to be a hardcore wrestler. And it's kind of funny that it's worked out that way, that Jericho's matches are all going that way. I think it's a gimmick he wants to do in this company. In New Japan, he wanted to do a different gimmick, to do a brawler gimmick, not rely so heavily on the athletic moves, which, don't get me wrong, he still pulled out very athletic moves in this match. But he's more in the brawling role, and he's more depending on that and depending on his underhandedness. I thought this match was really good. Naito picked up the win, which is exactly what I expected. We finally get to see him with that defining Wrestle Kingdom moment, maybe. And maybe he finally is going to accept the Intercontinental Championship. The story might be coming full circle, where it's back to being important to him again. As we've seen recently, even during this match, he threw the belt over his shoulder after using it as a weapon. So, the question's there. Is he going to still disrespect the title? Or is he going to accept the fact that now he is the IC champion and it's making something important to him? Now, coming off of that, we have the main event of the evening. Kenny Omega versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. This match was, obviously, this was a match that everybody was looking for going into it. We had the ace of the generation, Tanahashi, who, as great as he is and as great as everybody thinks he is, I think is still a little bit underrated. I think people don't realize how great of a wrestler he is and how great of a talent and what a special talent they have. And I know he's billed as a once-in-a-generation talent, but he really is. And I think it's going to be one of those things that 5 years from now we're really going to realize how great we had it with Tanahashi. And Kenny Omega, what can I say? Over the last 3-4 years, Kenny Omega has been leaps and bounds the best wrestler in the world, where there's only question of a couple other people, Okada, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, only a couple other people, Tanahashi himself, being in that same rarefied air that he's working in. And this was, to me, this was an awesome match. This was the old guard versus the new guard. This was the best wrestler in the world right now versus the guy that steadily kept the company afloat for over a decade. And it played really well both ways, and I love how it worked. I love how physical and how brutal that Kenny Omega is getting in his matches, how his style is evolving to be a more hard-hitting style. And I love the fact that Tanahashi is playing the face in peril basically the entire match. He's coming from underneath, and he's making it show, and he's making the fans come into the match and drawing them in and bringing them to where they're all behind him. I just thought this was a fantastic match. I think this match and the opener are my two favorite matches of the show. Funnily, they're both have one of the Golden Lovers involved. Not surprisingly, but not what I wanted to happen, Tanahashi won. Not that I don't like Tanahashi. I kind of wanted Kenny Omega to have a more memorable run with the IWGP Championship, especially if this is going to be his only run. If he does leave to go to WWE, if he does leave to go to AEW, I kind of wish he would have had a couple more months run with the belt. And again, I'm very sorry, folks. I am very tired. But to me, I thought this was a really, really good match between two of the top 5 guys in the world right now. And this just shows again how great Tanahashi is, that he could come back and be in this role. It's such a good match, and it was such a great way for Tanahashi to come back to prominence, winning the G1, winning this. And I don't expect him to have a long run with the title. It'd be interesting to see who he's going to lose it to. I believe it's either going to be Naito or Jay White. I think maybe we get an off chance that someone like Zack Sabre Jr. or Sonata picks up this title. But that's the interesting thing going forward. Who is going to step up to challenge him? And we're going to find it out probably tomorrow morning at New Year's Dash. I give the match a 5. I think it was excellent. Like I said, my two favorite matches are the bookends of the main show, Ospreay versus Ibushi, and Omega versus Tanahashi. With that being said, I give the entire night overall a 5. My enjoyment level was through the roof through the night. Even though it was a more than 4-hour show altogether, it didn't feel like it was. It didn't feel like any part of the show dragged on. No part of the show was boring. Even the couple matches that I ranked a little bit lower, they really weren't boring. They were good matches, and they kept my interest going. I really enjoyed the show. Wrestle Kingdom every year seems to be the best show of the year of any wrestling show. And it's going to be hard-pressed for another wrestling show this year to beat this. And I say that every year when I review these, but it's usually correct. Usually there's not much else that can beat them. I thought this was a fantastic show. Fantastic way to start off 2019. So many questions going forward. Who's challenging Tanahashi? Where is Okada going to go from here? All the championships, 8 championships changed hands tonight. So very interesting stuff going forward. Whole lot of storylines going in different directions. But let's see what happens. But basically, that's what I had to say on that. My name is George Coles, and this has been my review of Wrestle Kingdom 13.